everyone, Bethany here. So before I start with this video, I just wanted to address something. Someone asked me a question about why I blink so much in my videos and sometimes I speak a little fast and things like that. I have a neurological condition called dyspraxia, and the good Lord has been using me with this for His glory, but it doesn't affect anything in the theology that I say, and it's not that I'm being nonchalant or lazy, it's just how my brain functions. So I just decided to get that out of the way before I begin, and please keep asking questions. I love questions. It's better to ask a question about something than just to wonder what's going on. So I just felt it in my soul and spirit as to say this. Keep speaking to the Lord even when it doesn't make sense. And I'm saying this to people with anxiety and depression, as someone who struggled with it before. Keep cleaving to God when it doesn't make sense, because sometimes us people can be a little silly and we think that the Lord's not going to understand. Because how can joy Himself understand grief? When the truth of the matter is, the Lord is joy, but He does understand your grief. The Word says it. Isaiah 53 verse 3 to 5 says, "He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And as one from whom men hide their faces, He was despised, and we esteemed Him not. Surely He has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteemed Him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But He was pierced for our transgressions, He was crushed for our iniquities. Upon Him was chastisement that brought us peace, and with His wounds we are healed." This is so comforting, because sometimes we feel like God won't understand what we feel, when He literally bore our griefs, meaning He understands more than we could ever imagine how we feel. Jesus Himself knew what grief felt like, and what He did when He was upset is He ran to the Garden of Gethsemane and He spent His time with the Lord, as we all should. What I'm saying is, to the person out there who feels like they cannot go to God with whatever they're carrying, you absolutely can. It's not going to make you any weaker. It's not going to make you look like you don't believe the goodness of God. It's just going to mean that you rely on the Savior, which is such a beautiful thing, because religion is this thing that tells us you can't go to God with your griefs, you can't go to Him with your sorrows, because that means that you're imperfect, that you don't understand His word. When relationship says, "Come to me and I will give you myself, I will give you my word and I will show you who I am," and then you will have joy. When I was a teenager, around 14, 15, somewhere there, I used to be very hard on myself. And I thought that I could not come to God with the things I felt, because if I came with anything else that wasn't joy, or if I felt anything else that wasn't joy, rather yet, because it's like I had sadness, but I never expressed it because I thought it meant that I was going to hurt God's feelings and tell Him, "I'm so ungrateful about everything you've done." I thought that if I had sadness and I brought it to the Lord, that He'd see me as ungrateful and He'd tell me to depart from Him. And out of that fear, that irrational fear, that religious fear of wanting to be like a Ned Flanders kind of Simpsons character, even though that's a cartoon, I actually drew away from the Lord. And eventually, when I did come to Him, I was so broken that I just broke into tears, and He made my heart new. I'll never forget that day as a teenager. I remember going into my room and having my heart renewed. It was heart surgery. And the only thing I regret was that I didn't go to the Lord sooner, because of the belief that being saved is being this happy-go-lucky kind of, "Oh, I don't feel anything but joy" character. Even though we are human beings, and as human beings we're going to go through human emotions. But here's the beauty of it. Those emotions are all tools, and what matters is what you do with them. And what I recommend doing with them, because this is what I do now whenever I'm upset or something, is go to the Word. Have sadness that brings you closer to the Lord, because when you invite Him into that, it's no longer sadness, it's peace, it's joy, it's unbelievable. I don't know how to describe it. It's like having the best love letter ever written to you, the Bible, read out to you in your most vulnerable moment. So no to the Christian who thinks that they need to be happy all the time in order to be a true follower of Christ. That's religion talking. Relationship says, I will bind up your wounds and make you new. Go to Jesus, run to Jesus with whatever it is. It's not too embarrassing. It's not ungrateful to say I'm not okay. It's real, it's true, and it's what we should all do when we're upset. Just run to the Savior, because what's the point of a Savior if you don't need saving? The message I speak may sound simple, but I'm saying it because I wish someone had told me this when I was younger, not given me some kind of rule book that said, in order to be a good Christian, you have to check out all the boxes. When that's not it. It's not about being a good Christian. It's about being someone that the Lord has saved by grace. Someone that the Lord has shown mercy to the point of which you're a new creation. And the only way that you can achieve that is by letting Him in. I learned that all those years ago on that bedroom floor when I was weeping my eyes out at the age of 14. And I have never regretted it. Invite Him into your life. He will change you from the inside out. Have an excellent day and God bless you.